You're listening to the Weird Girls Club podcast with your hosts, Nave and Amy. Hi, we're back. We're back. We're back.
I went real funny there and I double heard.
Double heard.
Yeah, it was like I was wearing earphones and there was delay, but I'm not
that
wearing
was your
earphones.
like. It was like because you're just we're having been like performing a dad here second, so that was just our mic like.
Yeah, it was just like
you're back
getting
in track,
unplugged,
you know.
Yeah, the sound system.
But we're back for another episode. We haven't actually recorded in
Forever.
long, like so long.
I think you need to explain why we were MIA because it's kind of your fault.
It was my fault. Actually, I can't even remember when was the last time we actually recorded, so we can try
in preparation for your dad visiting for a month and you going home for a week. So if Neve tries to say that it wasn't her fault, it was.
Well, actually, we took a break as well when your ma was over.
No, we didn't. We had an episode go up while my ma was here. Yeah.
No, there was 1 week we didn't.
The week after we didn't because
we didn't record enough because there wasn't enough prep done.
Yeah, but we could have recorded when she went. So, anyways, Neve's dad was here for a month and then Neve went home for a week.
Well, hold on, we had episodes for the month.
You're not letting me finish. We did prep and we like recorded in advance. Neve can roll her eyes as much as she wants.
Yeah.
But then Neve came back like the day of our last podcast was recorded. Yeah, the day you came back. No.
From Dublin. I flew out on a Wednesday and I arrived back on a Wednesday.
Yeah, but I'm trying to think if we had a podcast that week. We didn't, right? I don't know if that was our last episode. I can't remember what date our last episode came out.
No. We decided we weren't going to have a recording because it was just we didn't have enough time to actually record them 2 episodes.
Yeah, so we didn't have one that week, and then there was just loads going on. We're obviously trying to like get back into routine and stuff after you come away and everyone being over. So we didn't record again, and then last week, I can't even remember what happened last week.
Well, last weekend was my first weekend after being back, like so.
No, I'm talking about like by the time this comes out. I mean, like this week we should have like we kind of had time to have one, but then we also didn't have time to do one
we
either.
just didn't.
So we're like, oh, let's just freshen it up and
like there's no point in half-assed.
Yeah. So we go into so we're
plus we try to push as many out as we can.
Yeah. Like this year's been all over the place. So
I know, and if you actually go back to like one of the first episodes this year, we're gonna have 52 episodes. We're not gonna miss a beat.
I think we maybe hit half of that. but
quality over quantity.
Yeah.
So quality over quantity.
You'll get 4 in a row when we batch record. Not joking.
Oh, stop.
Because that's basically how I do it. But anyways, we're just kind of like gonna have a little chit chat.
Yeah,
I don't know, like
coffee.
a little update. I
have to change
some
our
coffee. Cheers.
Cheers.
Everybody grab a drink. Sorry if you don't like ASMR.
The two of us done that.
Really? I actually hate the noise of slurping, so I'm sorry.
That's not bad
I
coffee.
know how you feel. No, it's very nice. Neve got a new fancy coffee machine that has like a what would you even call
style.
it?
What?
Yeah, like it is proper barista style. And then the first day I came out, she's like, it's so shiny, it doesn't work, it's disgusting. I'm like, you literally don't even have a 24 hours.
I literally don't know how to work this.
Yeah.
Like it's just we tried and the coffee literally tastes like bag of shit. Like the first night we got it, and then I was like, right, this is gonna be hard to learn. And then Amy came like the next day and I made hers first. No, I made Aaron's Americano first, and he was like, oh, that's so much better than yesterday. And I was like, are these just like gaslighting me right now? Like, are these like fucking just like
false sense of reality, like?
False sense of fucking confidence here, like trying to build me up. And I made Amy's and she was like, oh, that's actually really nice. And I was like, stop fucking lying. I was like, I know it tastes like a bag of shit. And she was like, it doesn't. It doesn't. Then I made mine and I was like, we had three each. That's how, like,
in the space of a day though. Like we didn't have 3 within like a little 2-hour catch up, but it was like a whole
when you think
day.
about it though, like it's just like an espresso shot with milk.
Yeah,
the way I
that's
make them.
true.
Do you know what I mean? So it's not
double. So but
it's not it's actually easy to drink.
Yeah, I think they're really nice. Cheers, everybody.
Cheers. Yeah. I have a whopper headache because I haven't had any water today. Now I'm drinking a fucking coffee.
Dehydrate yourself. Make sure you stay hydrated. Kids.
Stay hydrated, Hunts. But anyway, any news with you? What's the story?
Oh, why did you ask me that? I can never think of news when I'm on the spot like this. But I don't think so.
Anything
I
like
put me here.
That's
about it. People are like, yeah, fucking save it.
No, it's lovely.
Thanks, hon. Yeah, I went a bit crazy.
She bang.
Just was like, oh, let's cut some bangs. I'm like, never had bangs before. I think when I was in 6th class, I got full fringe like in the hairdresser or something because of like Hannah Montana had one, so like I wanted one.
You get the limo around front.
Ooh. But other than that, like I've never actually had.
So
like,
hold on, we haven't even.
bangs.
When was the last time we actually like properly like done a catch up? Like fucking Land Before Time.
Yeah, we got really
August.
into all the Am I the Asshole episodes. So while we did the other ones, they were still kind of based on something like we done Roger Ratters and hypothetical questions and stuff. But I think just having a general chat would have been the first episode back after my ma left when I.
So September.
Yeah. Oh my god, and it's like Christmas when this is coming out. Oh god, we're so sorry if anyone really enjoys this podcast and you're like, these fucking lazy bitches aren't uploading. We apologize and we appreciate you.
Oh, stop. But we hope all the new followers we've gained over the last few weeks are listening.
Yeah, we had a
enjoying.
crazy like growth sprout, like literally the day Neve left for Ireland, and it's like
The same happened in May when I went home in May.
Yeah, so
on
Neve
a
has
different
this
platform.
weird thing where I think we're just gonna send her on a flight like every month or something, like, you know. But Neve went home in May, and the day she went home, like, was sitting in the airport, I sent her a screenshot because like our socials were like at a point where we're like, oh my god, like this is just dying. Like, so no one likes Instagram anymore. Everyone's on TikTok, so we got into posting on TikTok, and then it was slowly trickling away. And then next of all, like there's just like a couple of hundred jumps. But then we had a couple of like, at the time, clips go viral, but even now compared to some of the views we get on like some of our podcast clips, it's like they were smaller numbers at the point. Now they still like
They were trickling like up like
and then we just had like a crazy sprout for the whole week that Neve was home, and then they were like, I think it was the first time we ever done an Am I the Asshole episode. It was either the first or second time we ever done it, and one of the clips, like one of the stories, just went like crazy viral.
y'all hate your mother-in-laws.
Yeah, but no, it wasn't even that. I think it was.
But they do.
No, they do now, because this is where like the Instagram girl came from. But back in May, it was either
the TikTok.
It was either the girl bringing her baby to the wedding or the
That was
sister
it.
faking cancer.
It was the mother bring the baby to the wedding.
Yeah, I think that one like blew up, and we got like loads of followers. Well, when I say loads, it went up a couple of hundred. And then like it basically took over Instagram like within the space of a week, and we were getting like really into the TikTok side of things. And then obviously we were inconsistent Annies this year, so it was like they were all just then floating. But then Neve went away in October, and I'd started like
November.
In November, Neve went away, and we had started like just throwing some of the TikTok Am I the Assholes up on Instagram, because we were kind of like, Instagram was dying. Like no one really likes Instagram anymore. It's kind of all over the place, and we were like, oh, we'll just keep it going, because some of the TikTok followers were coming over, and it's like, it doesn't look good if there's nothing new up. And then the day Neve's in the airport and I'm sitting at home just scrolling, I noticed one of her reels that was up for literally at least 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks, just started, like, I think it had gotten to like 10k views or something like that, and I just started going up, and next of all I saw it was at 60k, and I was like, Neve, what the fuck is going on? It was it just then, like in the space of 2 hours, became like our most viewed reel, and there was like loads of followers coming in. And then I think that TikTok as of today is on like 590,000 views.
Yeah, the reel it's like
sorry, the reel, I did say
is nearly on 600,000 views.
Yeah, and we had like 2 more go up after that, and like one of them
they're doing well, like
hit like 50k in an hour.
It goes to show though, like when you think a platform is dying, it comes back. Like, but then again, like I know everyone's like, not everyone, like I know we were saying specifically with the podcast page, being like, oh, like the Instagram's like dead, like we don't really put much effort into it anymore. Like, but then again, when you're thinking about it, like I still use Instagram to get me news. And to have a nose, because you can't always be somewhere scrolling through videos and listening to people talk and videos. So when you're even on Instagram, like you're constantly just scrolling as well. Yeah. So it kind of balances out. Instagram, we love you.
Yeah, we definitely love every single social media platform.
Well, like, except for like Facebook is like the one I least go on. Well, actually, no, Twitter. I don't use Twitter.
Yeah. It's like, when I say Instagram was dying, I mean like in a sense that obviously it's trying so hard to compete with TikTok, that they're doing so many new things that no one really knows what's gonna work.
Yeah.
In a way, it's like, oh, do you post 5 times a day, and do you need a reel every day? Do you need fucking 10,000 stories up? Like, you don't know what to do, and it takes so much time. With like, if anyone that's new that's like following us now, we're not just complaining about social media, but we also do work. Like, this isn't a full-time job. Like, I feel like some people coming and following us now, because I think our Instagram's at like, it's 8,000 now.
It's over 8,000.
Like, in the space of the month of November, we went from 2,500 followers to now, today as of recording this, we're on like 8,100. So I feel like if some people are coming in now or later, or if we hit more by the time this episode comes out, they're like, probably don't know that we actually just work in normal jobs, and this is like a hobby. Kind of.
It is. It's a hobby.
But yeah, it's like a weird
we work
thing
9 to 5s, people.
Yeah, it's like it's not an overnight thing, because we've been doing this for almost 2 years now. We've been doing this
since January 1st, 2020.
Yeah.
So, New Year's Day will
be
2 years.
It'll be 2 years. So it's like, while growth happened overnight, a whole blood, sweat and tears and fucking time, effort went into everything that like we post and put up. And any old followers who were here last year, just as an FYI, we're not doing Vlogmas.
Oh yeah, we're not doing Vlogmas
well,
this year.
I think of it, we're not doing Vlogmas this year.
We're not
prepped at all for it.
Like, every year I think we've done the podcast, we've always changed things up, and we've always like changed days, or like changed something, like what way we're gonna do the podcast. Like, and last year we were like, oh fuck it, we'll do Vlogmas. And then we had so much fun doing Vlogmas. So much fun.
I love
but it was so jam-packed, and it was like I was editing 2-3 videos nearly a day, trying to push them out, and that's besides recording. And then I started a new job, and it was just it was like, and then
the day of like kind of Vlogmas was beginning or something like that.
Yeah,
like,
I started
the same week.
November 29th. I started my job, and then my dad arrived November 28th as a surprise. So everything was like, oh my god, like but thank God, like we started recording for Vlogmas in like October.
Yeah, so I was just about to say, spoiler alert, some of the like sit down like Starbucks try videos, because as soon as they released their drinks, we're like, we're in here, this is pre-recorded.
We done it
because I knew your dad was coming in as well, so I was
like,
see, as much as we can get done in advance. And he was like, I want to do more in the moment vlogs, and I was like, we need to prep some videos, so because obviously she didn't know, and it was like complete surprise. And then our dad ended up staying longer as well.
Oh yeah, he said an extra week longer, yeah. But it's because like I didn't really get to see him.
Yeah,
because he obviously had a book before he knew I was getting the job. Like, it was pretty quick turnover of me starting a new job.
Yeah.
Like, so
last year was crazy.
It was crazy, but we're not doing it this year.
No.
Who knows? We might do it again next year. We might not do it. We don't know. Or we might just have a different channel completely for vlogs.
Maybe.
Who knows? Which would be fun. Like, I do miss the side of like, not even the filming of the vlog, and I just miss the editing of vlog, and like I love editing,
especially the Christmassy ones, because you're looking at like
Christmas, be creative and do different so I don't know, like maybe if you are something that you want, we could throw up maybe an odd vlog every now and then if you are interested. I don't think anyone really cares about our lives. I don't really care to record about
someone commented that we were influencers the other day, so people
oh yeah, actually let's talk about that. That was funny. So we got like this, like, by the way, men, any hate comments we've gotten have always been from men, and always calling us like either fat or ugly, which oh my god, like I'm gonna cry myself. But not even in that,
like not even in them
it's
words,
funny.
Which is funny.
No, but
it's like, just come out and say it. It's like, oh, your unhealthy lifestyle. Like, you don't know me.
When we put up remember we done the he's a 10 but video?
Yeah.
I remember we got like loads of comments, and I like, maybe I'm just worse. Like, I just love winding people like that up when they just have, like, when they've gone to the bother of saying something bad, like, and I'm just like, smart answer back. And loads of them just deleted their comments.
Yeah.
I'm like, too hot in the kitchen, hon?
Yeah.
It's too hot in the kitchen.
Out then. I usually just ignore them sometimes, but then, like, you to comment something with you back. Or sometimes, like, I'll just, depends on what it is. Like, sometimes I'll be like, you can just keep scrolling, like pointing out the obvious. Like, if they're like, some people I think we had 1 or 2 people comment on like the am I the asshole thing, like, oh, like obviously these are fake, or obviously like just pointing stuff, and it's like, you don't have to listen to the whole clip, you can just keep going.
Like, we're not saying these are our stories,
and that's true, they're on the internet, they could be fake, makes for an entertaining story. So
I don't give a fuck if they're fake. How am I supposed to? I'm not going to investigate this person.
Like, it's something that people are interested in.
But like reading the news could be fake.
Fake news.
We had some fella like commented when was it, like a few days ago, on it being like, and he like was like we were wetting ourselves laughing, like
so funny.
And then like, because I started commenting back to him, and then Amy like started, because I was doing something, and Amy started coming back to him, and she was like, you're still here, like why are you even commenting? If we're so, like he said, we were like lame or something, influencers, if we put more focus into our content instead of being unhealthy or something. Like that.
So I think his first comment was something like, oh, it feels like every single podcast is just reading these to get views and go viral and be famous, and said something like that. And I think
lame. He put lame on
and he put lame, and I think you would wrote back, I can't remember what you wrote back, but
do you know what?
Something witty, like a one-liner comment, and then he wrote like another paragraph back saying
I said small dick energy.
Oh, that's what you said. I thought there was another one between it. And then he was like, oh, original insult. Next you'll call me an incel. What was it? Oh, if you put as much thought into your insults as you did your unhealthy lifestyle, maybe you'd come up with something better or something like that.
Something stupid.
And I just wrote back, oh, you're still here, thanks for the views, viewer retention and comment boost or something like that.
It was something
and
like
a heart,
that.
and then he never wrote back.
Yeah,
that's how you get them. It's like, thanks for pushing their content even more to get more views, and even if it's copy and paste, thanks on, we appreciate it.
Thanks on, appreciate it.
Every comment, every like, dislike, it's
but like
just boosting the video.
The good thing is like all the bad comments, like the bad comments we do get, it outweigh, like the good comments always outweigh them.
Yeah, we've actually gotten so many good
like
comments.
And to be honest, I can understand when people like that are like have like hundreds of thousands and like actually get like so much hate, when they're like, you need a thick skin for someone to just comment on you. Like I can get that, like, because even though we were laughing at this fella, it still meant we were talking about that comment. So imagine getting hundreds of hate comments.
Yeah,
like at the end of the day, we were laughing our asses off, but it was still something we were talking about.
Something out of the like what that I think that reel had like maybe like 600-700 comments, and it was something that we went back and forth with, that we actually deliberately talked about more than we talked about all the nice ones we had. Like people were like, oh, I love your accent, oh, I've subscribed, and
I'd be like, oh, really, like this clip is after making me discover your podcast, love you. Like some of the comments like are actually so nice.
So not to even put like too much energy on that hating ass bitch, but we appreciate everyone that leaves a nice comment or likes or watches on. And by the way, we're both from Ireland. Yeah, sorry. Can we discuss something, please? If one more person. Is she calling her a whore? Whore. H-E-R. Whore. But yeah, so obviously, like so many people comment like about me accent, like where is his accent from? Like why does she talk like that? Like is she calling her a whore? And I'm like, no, like crickets. But no, like crickets. If anyone is new listening to this, so me and Eve are both from Dublin in Ireland, and we live in Toronto in Canada. We both met here, even though we live in very close area. Back in Ireland, like we're originally from like a, and we really didn't even know each other in Ireland area. Yeah, and we didn't know each other here. We met here, Canadian Thanksgiving 2019. We met. Oh my god. Yeah, oh my god. So we like genuinely don't know each other that long, but we weren't even like that close. Yeah, until we like started this. But yeah, like just a little. I'm trying to like think, because if there is like a lot of new people watching, so I'm like, do we need to like reintroduce ourselves? Should we actually have asked questions for doing this episode? Because we're like, let's sit down, do a chatty update, and then we're like, we've actually had like an influx in followers and subscribers, and subscribe to our channel before you leave. Subscribe. But yeah, we're just really appreciative of anyone new that's come in and anyone that likes watching the podcast. And we will like definitely going into the new year. We do have big plans like for this podcast, and big like we got big plans, big like, dreams. We love, like, as much as you might think, oh, they've missed like 3 weeks here, 2 weeks there, we do still really enjoy the podcast, and it's something we just like. Put me down, like, what am I doing? I don't fucking know. I'm trying to be serious and talk to the people. But I'm just, it's that coffee. It's because I haven't had it. It's literally like, what the fuck was big talk, big like what? Do you know what I was trying to, like, in my head it was like, you know, the old fashioned like Asians where you were like, I can see your name in lights, you know, that kind of that. I thought you said old fashioned Asians. I was like, that's a bit what? Even sometimes I don't understand it. So if you're listening, like, what Chrissy Teigen. Chrissy, wake up. I don't like this. Chrissy, wake up. Sorry for that tangent, but you'll get used to that around here if you plan on sticking around and listening to these episodes.
They're like, these two are giving me a headache.
We will have a topic and we might stray off that topic. So sometimes if we say we're going to do something at the start of the episode, that can't be guaranteed by the end that we've even
gotten to it. That has happened so many times. Like,
yeah, but again, for anyone new that's listening, we're just like, this podcast is just something we do as a hobby, kind of like, we just like to chat shit. We do a lot of the Reddit stuff because like people kind of ask for it and we're interested in it, and we're also like,
and we actually send stories to actually say, which we will get to people's when you have sent them. We haven't gotten to them, we will get to them when we do record an Am I the Asshole video. Yeah,
because we like to keep the Am I the Assholes for the Am I the Assholes. We might chat about something random in it, but like if we're doing like a chatty episode or something else, we won't stick a story in it yet. We usually have them like
it's schedule. Basically our episodes, if they're not like certain topics, it's pretty much random shit that we talk about. Like our whole goal when we started this podcast was like, because obviously it was during COVID, and we were like, well, people are stuck indoors, so if they can listen to us do shite on, maybe they won't, especially if they live alone. Like Amy lives alone, so I was like, for other people that are like Amy and who live alone during COVID, like maybe they won't feel so like, oh, fucking isolated as much, like when they don't have like people that have moved to new countries and don't know anyone and they are on their own, like. But
say alone one more time.
Alone. She's like, I'm all alone,
no one here beside me. Shout out to Shrek. We like Shrek on this podcast.
We do like Shrek. We like Shrek. We like Disney. We love Disney.
We like dogs.
We like dogs.
Pet that dog?
My ma thought that was me actually saying that in that video. She did. She thought that was me with a voice on going, can I pet that dog?
Can I pet that dog?
Can I pet that dog?
That's so funny.
She's like, is that you? I was like, no.
Some random kid like wanting to pet that dog.
But yeah, other than that, we talk a lot of shite, and hopefully you can feel like you are involved in the conversation instead of us just talking to each other, because I think that's what a lot of people liked when we started. You were like, oh my god, like I feel like I'm sitting there with you, like having the chats, like.
Yeah, it's cute. It's cute.
But yeah, we have big plans for next year.
Like
we'll have to. We have said all year. Yeah, we're having guests on this year. Yeah, we're having guests on.
We didn't actually have one guest on.
We didn't have one guest on this year. Last year was so jam packed with guests, and we had great guests on. Maybe next year we will. We like we have taught like people who have said like, oh yeah, I want to be on. We were like, yeah, we'll get back to you. We will get back to you. Probably in the new year. Probably in the new year we will get back to you to be actually on the podcast, and we'll hopefully figure some other things out that we have to figure along with that. But we're excited.
I feel like we say a lot, but this year has been a bit hectic. So I think like
this year's been mad.
This year's been the first year. Actually, it wasn't even fully not in a like a lockdown or any restrictions this year either.
Yeah, that's why
majority of the year was like we didn't go back into any, but like the year started off with me stuck in Ireland with COVID, and I couldn't get back to like literally the end of January.
Masks were still kind of in around.
Like masks were still a thing. I still think there was some like little restrictions when I got back, and then they lifted, but obviously like we still entered this year with like people were getting booster shots, like vaccines were still a thing, like all that was still happening. So it's like this is the year where I feel like people are, I don't want to say forgetting about the pandemic, but it's like life's back in the fast lane again. Yeah. And it's back on hustling, grinding, fucking.
But like that's where I'm like, did we not learn anything?
No, it's weird that like we thought stuff was gonna change. It's like, oh, the new normal, this, new normal, that, and it's like, no, the world really tried to like put the puzzle pieces back in the wrong places. Yeah. Like in a sense, like offices wanted to fully reopen, and then people were like, hang on a minute, I can do this all from home. I just
proved I can do this all from home.
Yeah, like there's like it just that and change like, just happening.
I think like it's important for offices, like just as an example, like if they want, if like I think it should be primarily down to the employee, like to a certain degree. Like if they function better in an office, go ahead, like do what you need to do.
Everybody's different, like.
But everyone's different, like, and I think before the pandemic, like introverts were being forced to be extroverts. And that's draining in itself, and that's something I learned over the pandemic. Like I am not an extrovert in the slightest, and just to let everyone know, like extroverts don't primarily mean like you're so outgoing and you're talkative. That doesn't mean that. It means when you're around people, you literally gain energy from being around people. When you're an introvert, you like gain, like you recharge your energy kind of being in your own bubble, kind of being like on your own, which I will when I'm out with people, like I go hard and I go fast, like, and then I hit a wall and I'm like, I'm ready to bounce. Like I'm going. Like I eventually, like, my social battery like hits an all-time low.
There's a certain point where it's on.
I think you're like that too. Yeah.
Sometimes I define like.
But I'm not like that with you.
What do you mean?
Like if I'm with you, I'm not like, oh my god, like I have to go now. Like my battery's gone.
Oh yeah, I get.
For some reason.
Because it's like that. It's like there's some people you could be around like all day, every day, because you both know. Like you could come up to mine, we've been with each other all day, but then like you sit there in silence for 20 minutes. But where some people can't be like that because they'll be trying to have it. Awkward silence sometimes isn't awkward and it's needed. Yeah. Like you can't be go. And I think that sometimes grandma's like, I'll put her off and do something, and you'll just be sitting there scrolling, or we'll be watching something, whatever it is. And it's like we'll just take a minute and we're either both scrolling on our phones for like 10 minutes, and then it's like we'll just randomly start chatting again. But I'm like that as well. But I find as well sometimes you need. This is where I was like, am I actually an introvert or an extrovert when I was thinking about it? Because I feel like if I go so long without like seeing anybody, then as well it does the opposite, and it's like, oh yeah, you feel like, I don't know how to say, it's like in a pit, and it's like I don't want to go anywhere because it's been, let's say, a week and you haven't like went out, you haven't met anyone, you haven't gone for a coffee with anyone, haven't left the house, and then it's like, oh, I don't want to go anywhere. But it's like your internal self being like, no, don't leave the house. And then when you go out, you have the best buzzing time. Yeah. And you're like, you also need that little like energy boost to be like, oh yeah, that's nice, now I can go home again and sit in. Because then when you're on your own as well for a long period of time, it gets like that where you're like, I don't want to go anywhere, but it's just because you're so used to not going anywhere. Yeah. In a sense. But no, that's so true. All about finding balance. That was a random little. Yeah, I don't even know how we actually got onto that. No, we were talking about the podcast and we talked about the pandemic. Yeah, introverts and extroverts. Yeah, that's the the spider web. But actually, right, I wanted to bring this up. I saw something on Twitter last night, and I'm curious if I told you, right, to close your eyes, swallow your coffee, relax. If I told you to close your eyes and picture an apple, right, what do you see? Or if you don't see anything, that's fine. But what do you see? A green apple. Right. Is it a real green apple? Like a cartoon apple? A faded apple? Well, you said a real apple. A real Sam, give me a high five. I literally, right? But do you know there's like only 30 to 50% of like the population. So according to this like post and blog that was then posted on Twitter, 30 to 50% of the population Jesus Christ, 30 to 50% of the population can actually only visualize like stuff in their head and like have an internal dialogue. There's actually like majority of the population is out there. So hold on, people can't visualize stuff in their heads? Yeah. Are you winding me up? They might see the word, or they'll know what an apple is. Like if you know what an apple is, they'll know what it looks like. But when they close their eyes and try like see it, it's just there's nothing there. And some people might see it like a grey apple. Some people might see it, because this was the picture it was showing like there was 5 different things. The 5th was nothing, like there was nothing there. The 4th was like a very faint greyish apple. Then the 3rd was like a solid grey apple. The 2nd was like almost a drawn kind of red apple, and then the 4th one was like it looked like a real apple, like it wasn't just like a little painting like our animated one. And I had closed my eyes and I pictured a green one, but I think I pictured green because I like green apples, I don't like red apples, but I like pictured like a real apple. That's like, mad. And I just always assumed that like everybody could do that, and that like everybody has an internal dialogue. Do you have an internal dialogue? Yeah. I'm like, what would you do? My internal dialogue never stops fucking talking. Like, do you ever be like in your head, like, oh, they can fuck off themselves? But like, not in that. It's like just everyday things. No matter what you're doing, like you're talking to yourself in a way. Yeah, in your head, you are. Like, do you ever be sitting there thinking? If you're reading, you have an internal dialogue. Yeah, but apparently some people just see the words and know what they mean. But how are you taking that in? Like, some people read a book and they don't picture on. When I read a book, if I'm reading a book for the first time, there's no movie, or I've never seen a movie of it, I am visualizing that whole world, like it's like the movie's playing in my head as I'm reading. I barely even actually taken the like words in a way. Like, oh yeah, you feel like it's a movie. Yeah. So then, like, when you watch the movie, that's why a lot of people don't like the movies after books, because I mean the movie can't make 10 million people's
the way it's
imagination
pictured in your head.
Like if you just start reading something and let's say they don't like, they describe it a little bit, but if you're reading Harry Potter for the first time, you're visualizing what Hogwarts looks like and what Dumbledore like and all these characters look like. I create that in my head if I'm reading a book, but like some people just don't.
That's mad.
I never knew that.
That's mad.
Isn't that crazy?
That's very sad. I hope I never turn out like that.
I know, but like I can't believe some people don't have an internal dialogue.
That's mind blowing. That's like the head blown.
But it's like I can't even imagine what it was like for like imagine just silence, just nothing. So now that would be nice when I was going to sleep at night, that I'm not just thinking about 50 million things. But like sometimes I'll catch myself walking down the road and I almost laugh because I'm just. I think I'm on. We've fucking cracked. I'm on the scale of like almost a bit woo. But like sometimes I'll be thinking about something.
First of all, I'm laughing. You walk down the road.
Like say I'm going to shop or something.
All right.
And I'm just walking somewhere and like I was just giving the example, like you're out in public, could be sitting on a bus and you're just sitting there, like I couldn't just sit there and not think of something. Like whatever you look at starts.
You're always thinking of something.
Yeah, like whatever I look at will either start like a thought or maybe a memory, and I'll think back on something, and then I might remember like either a conversation we had or even something from years ago, and I'll go and then you're like, oh shit, I'm sitting like in public
like
and
laughing to yourself,
or you'll think of something that pissed you off and you'll start frowning, then you just realise you're frowning and it's like you're actually just sitting on the bus and you just and then a few minutes later you're laughing like, oh, but yeah, no, I was reading through like some of the comments and those other people saying stuff like that, they're like, oh my god, like, people don't notice and people like don't think on. Then there was a whole other side of people that are like, what do you mean an internal dialogue, like whose voice is it and who's it? And I'm like, well, mine's my voice, it's not like Tom Hanks.
Have you ever like listened to, like, if you're reading say a book and it's like say it's after the movie and you're reading like say Forrest Gump and you're reading, can you not read that in his voice?
Oh
in your
yeah,
head? Yeah, that's it. Yeah,
then it is. But I mean, like, if
and I went up to Jenny.
But if I'm just narrating my day in my little head, like it's my
oh my god,
voice.
you know what's been stuck in my head? That voice on TikTok, the Jester voice.
Oh, I don't know.
You haven't heard
it?
it?
I don't have it.
It's like this Joker voice, and everyone's putting it over their videos. You know the way you can put the voice effects on videos?
Yeah. I might know the one you're talking about, but I can't.
That's how I'm hearing everything lately. And it's trying to drive me a bit mad.
But you know, like, even I don't know if this happens here, right? But sometimes, oh god, I'm exposing myself. I'm actually fucking a nut. But anyway,
well, I'm agreeing with you, so the two of us are in the same boat.
Like, right, this is probably a step further. Sometimes, like, when I'm in my house, right, and say something happens, or I remember something, or I think something, and I'm like, oh, I must bring that up on the podcast and tell Nave. 9 times out of 10 I forget, but I'll go through my head in the conversation that we might have.
Oh yeah, same.
Oh my god, I'm not alone, thank god.
You have a conversation with yourself, you're like, she's gonna say this and I'm gonna say that. But it's not like you don't say she's going to say this, you're like, oh Neve, I'm telling you this about, did you ever see that donkey that can kick its head? And then she's like, no way, I did. Yeah, like you have it. Yeah.
Oh,
no, we're not the only ones. If you can agree with this, hit the like button down below.
Please leave a comment and let us know whether you're like the type of person that can visualize and have internal dialogue, or maybe you only have one of them. I'm not sure how it works if you either have both or not, or there's just nothing going on. But not even in a bad way. I think it's just genetics. Like but imagine how quiet that would be as well. Like,
I've yet to meet someone that doesn't have an internal dialogue until I meet that person.
I know, but I don't really go around asking people, hi, nice to meet you, how's your internal dialogue?
No, but I just can't picture anyone not having one. Like, if you can read and you can see, if you have dreams, like, you have to be able to see these things in your head. It doesn't make sense.
What does a blind person think about?
Well, they'll have their own version of what they think by texture, feeling the texture and stuff.
But can they visualize stuff? Because then
they have a way of learning colours.
But
and
now
stuff.
I'm thinking, right? Because obviously everybody assumes a blind person can like sees black, like just sees dark. But then I saw something that was like, no, a blind person can see if you try to see out of your elbow. You just can't do it. Like, your eyes just aren't there. You don't see black. You don't see Anne. So then I'm like, maybe if it's the case,
what colour is nothing?
It's nothing. Try see out your elbow.
Obviously not.
Exactly. But if you didn't have eyes, that just wouldn't be there. It wouldn't go dark, because your eyes go dark because you close your eyelid and there's a cover over your eye. But if your eyes I'm not saying their eyes aren't there, but if you lost an eye or like that, you just can't see. There's just nothing there.
I read a thing before that, you know, when you close your eyes, do you know your eyes automatically go in?
That makes sense.
They like turn into your nose.
Crazy girl. You're right. Like, but I was just thinking there, right? If some people who can see,
girl.
if people who can see sometimes don't have like that, like they can't visualize stuff like that, like with closing their eyes, they can't picture something in their head, then maybe a blind person can picture things like that, because it's not obviously not your eyes that are doing the picturing. It's obviously a memory muscle in your brain or something.
I don't know. They still have an internal voice though.
No, yeah, the internal voice I think they definitely have, but I'm talking about, I was wondering there,
no,
what
because
they
blind
picture.
people can dream. They see things in dreams.
Yeah.
So,
but that's what I'm saying then. So it's obviously not the eyes. It's like just a muscle memory in your brain that helps you imagine stuff. Like, because it'd be the same way. Like some people would be really creative and some people are really analytical. It's just obviously certain endorphins in the brain. I don't know. I'm completely talking.
Well, that's a little snippet now of what we actually talk about on this podcast, which is complete shite. But I think we're gonna wrap it up.
End it on that note before
she starts on her fucking 10-minute tangent about fucking seeing things in your head.
But yeah, let us know in the comments or wherever if you have an internal dialogue or visualization or you don't see anything or hear anything.
But yeah, for anyone listening that is new, thanks for subscribing, thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoy the videos that will be coming.
Yeah, and if you're not yet subscribed, make sure you subscribe on your YouTube, or if you're listening on audio for fucked up. If you're listening on an audio platform like Spotify, Apple, or any of the others, make sure you leave us a follow there too, and of course head over to our Instagram and TikTok at the Weird Girls Club for any updates on future episodes. And we'll see you again next week, promise.
See you later.
Bye.
Bye.